Right, so Stakeland. I think it's okay. I think there are problems with it. It's just like, for example, the whole mashing up of zombies and vampires obviously is what they're doing. But it's nowhere near as inventive or clever as something like Zombieland, or it's not like gritty and gripping and edgy like 28 Days Later. Obviously, two zombie movies, and obviously here they've, like I say, they've managed to put together zombies and vampires. But here's the fundamental problem: the acting is just okay. I don't think the acting is particularly that strong. I think the characters could have been developed a lot better. I think the acting could be a lot better. And to be honest, there isn't any real character development apart from he just sort of talks to him like he's a kid, and he always calls it Mister and stuff. And every time you think there's going to be some sort of character development, there's always like this voiceover which keeps repeating itself and repeating itself. And hey, I like voiceover. Voiceover is very good when it's used, well and utilized in a clever way. But it just kind of came across as a bit safe and just a bit, oh, here we go. Let's just chuck in some meaning through voiceover because we can't think of anything else to throw in. And that's how it came across to me watching the movie. And it just felt like there were all these things in it, like really interesting ideas, but they didn't really come across like that. And the thing that probably was the best thing about the film is actually seeing these sort of evil creatures being, sort of torn apart and killed and stabbed and shot. That was probably the best bit of the whole film. But the problems, like I say, are quite a few. The characters aren't developed very well. The acting isn't that great. The sort of central idea is actually quite interesting, and it could be something really unique, but it's not really that interesting, and that kind of is a bit disappointing. Because even there are like a lot of mediocre movies, and they have quite interesting stuff in them. And that's far more interesting than what's in this movie, and that's the problem there. And also, the ending is just a bit, let's just end it now kind of thing. And where did that sort of come from? I mean, it felt like it's going to turn into another film, like the ending that they give. It's like it could be like another hour and a half movie, so it could be 3 hours long. But then that would still be too long. But that's just the way it kind of ended. It just feels a bit like, hey, yeah, let's just end it here. We've introduced this girl and no real character development again because we can't be solid to give character development at all. But let's just end it now because she's had about 5 minutes screen time, and let's just have this sort of sign that says welcome to so and so, and then boop, there you go at the end. But then obviously the Mr. guy has just walked off, gone off somewhere, and then he has to drive because it says it's time for you to drive in an earlier scene near the end. And that's it. It just felt a bit, yes. And it just, I don't know. Just it's an odd movie. There are some cool things in it, like the mutilation of things being stabbed and for stuff like that. But like I say, it's no interesting or epically great fun like Zombieland, which was a fantastic movie. It's a really good film. I love that film. I can't say the same for this film at all. I think it's just mediocre, and it's not really that interesting in terms of plot or actually anything going on with the political stuff is boring. Like, one point they go, "Oh, the president's dead," and then the Mister guy who seems to sort of hate everything, which just kind of comes off a bit weak. Like he hates everything. Like he hates Christians, he hates religion, he hates vampires. Oh, the whole thing's like killing. I can kind of get that. But he hates the president. He's like, oh, just another asshole. It's like, what? So, yes, it's a real mixed bag. There's some stuff that is kind of interesting, like the mutilation, but a lot of it just doesn't really work that well. So, it's okay. I wouldn't say it's amazing.